Hello everyone, this is Bev, Clarkovision, and thank you for this joining me, shall we say, on this video. I've been trying to get this actual update video done since about Wednesday last week, or Thursday last week, and every day I've been going to do it, just other things have kind of got in the way. And you wouldn't think there'd be much getting in the way, but just kind of like family related things and just kind of, other things basically, shall we say. But finally I'm just thinking, right, I've had my dinner, I'm just going to go and do this video now, because it was going to be an update of vinyl and CDs, but for the last couple of days at the weekend there, I got in a couple more records, and I'm due in a record tomorrow. I think the mail should be delivering that. That's a new release from this year, which was just released Friday. So I thought, well, I'll just split them and I'll just keep the CDs and the vinyl separate, because I've enough to make a nice little episode here if I do them both together. So this is purely CD update, and it's a case of just the latest CDs I've got. The last of the stragglers from last year that I had ordered finally came through. I've had a couple since early January, and most others I've just kind of got in over the last few weeks, over the course of January. So without further ado, we'll just get on and I'll show you what I got. Now, I had not been aware initially that this was being remastered and redone, basically, in a way. And it was, I think it was somebody in the comments on one of my videos that mentioned it, which alerted me. I was like, oh, then this I have to check out. I think it was maybe Paul DeVito. I'm not sure, but his name rings a bell of possibly mentioning it. So if it was you or whoever it was, thanks for mentioning that. Because when I've discovered it, I went, checked it out, ordered it through the Bandcamp, and it was this album. Cedric Forsberg had been remastering and redoing the guitars, drums and bass. And the singer who does the vocals on here as well, he was touching up one or two vocals here and there, but for the most part the vocals were staying the same. To release what is known as Return to Port Royal, the definitive edition, is what this bit says down here. Blazing Stones debut, revamped. It's only been released on CD, hence I have a CD copy. Rum Fuel Pirate Speed Metal Attack is what this bit says up here. And honestly, Darcy, you need to get this as well. If you like your Running Wild, you need to pick this up. So it was released through Stone Spell Records, who are the US label. So I ordered this was it late November or early December? And at the time, Cedric had said on his Facebook page that he was experiencing delays from the label, and I think it was just due to the shipping issues because of COVID and all that. But what was ultra amazing, because when I did get this, Cedric's address was on the back from Sweden, so he got them and he sent them. But he also enclosed the definitive edition of Rock-A-Rolla's Metal Strikes Back. Now, I never ordered this one. I only ordered Blazing Stone because I haven't got any Rock-A-Rollas, and I was going to get around to it at some point. But he must have just enclosed it for me, so I'm ultra chuffed to bits to receive that. I don't know if he accidentally did it or if he did it deliberately. There was no note with it, but I'm certainly not refusing it. So I think, now if I'm right, there was something out before this. This could be the second album from Rock-A-Rolla's Metal Strikes Back, and they've done the same thing as they have with Return to Port Royal. These guys are more Judas Priest inspired, kind of more traditional style metal, where this is pure pirate metal, Running Wild style. And what does it say here? New wave of traditional power metal, it's got up here. Again, Storm Spell. They've revamped the artwork for both of these. The original Port Royal is slightly different to this. And on the inner, they do a nice sunset version of the scene and picture disc, and it's on a lovely glossy lyric booklet, etc. as well. Same with this one, because I believe the original Rock'n'Roller release for Metal Strikes Back, this was the cover art, so they've kind of changed it to red and sort of reversed it a little. But that's the original on the back, and again a nice glossy book. And this is really good. I guess this must be one of the best Rock'n'Rollers for them to redo this in the definitive way as well. You also get included the Conquer EP, which I believe followed right after Metal Strikes Back. So you get an extra 4 tracks on here. You also get an extra 3 tracks on this album, which you don't get on the original. I can't remember what they are. It might be Beasts of War, that could be, but don't quote me. But the other 2 are the last 2. Stand Your Line, live, and Black Wings of Death, which is a Running Wild cover. But yeah, so I was well chuffed to get these. Another of the stragglers, the last of the last year orders, was a 2020 release. It was just released early December, and I ordered it from their Bandcamp a few days before. And it's a band I just discovered via YouTube, and it is the band March in Arms. They're out of the US. They come from, I've got their page here, the Sioux Falls in South Dakota is where they're from. Now, I don't know too much about this band, just going from what I've learned of them and checking Discogs, etc. The members of the band have been in some previous other bands before forming March in Arms, I think. And they have one previous release to this. So this is their second release. I don't know if the previous one was an EP or a full album, but it was just titled March in Arms. This is Pulse of the Daring, and it's actually signed by the band members. Of course, you'll get the glare of the case here. Signed by all the band members in silver pens, so there's 5 of them. There should be 5 of them round about here. Pulse of the I think this is like a war-themed album, but I'm not so sure they're going to base their entire musical career on it, as in the way Sabaton do. There's the band members there, 5 of them. And again, there's a very limited number of these. My copy is actually the hand numbered there, number 2 of 50. So that indicates to me there's 50 CDs. Just straight traditional style heavy metal. Really good just metal, you know. If you're interested in checking them out, do go to their Bandcamp. You'll find their stuff there, and I would suggest if you're curious about getting a copy of this, get in quick if there's only 50 of them. Self-released, not signed to anybody at the moment, and it's not on vinyl, it's just CD for a physical media at the moment. So yeah, really happy to get that as well. It's excellent stuff. Another new band. So, next up, excuse me, I always seem to get an itchy nose when I come on and make a video. I don't know why that is. However, we shall continue. And the next band I got was, again, I ordered from Bandcamp. Just discovered them through browsing YouTube. Never heard of them before in my life. Went and sampled some of their stuff on YouTube, really liked what I was hearing, and so I went to the Bandcamp and I thought, well, because this band is Russian, I'll just get the 2 of their albums instead of one, that way I don't have to kind of come back later, because I couldn't see anywhere else where I could order their albums from. And the band is called Alkonost. I think that's how you possibly pronounce it in English, Alkonost. Alkonost. And the names of the albums are completely in Russian. So I have no idea what they say in English without going and translating it. The lyrics are all sung in Russian as well on both of the albums. This one's 2018 and this one is 2016, so this is the earlier of the two. I think they've got a new one coming out this year, so I believe. And they're described on Wikipedia as a Russian epic folk metal band formed in 1995 in some place in Russia. They have a few albums and they have a female vocalist. She's really nice kind of sounding voice, bit of a calming influence about their music. They're not as fast and furious as one or two of the other kind of folk metal styles I've got. I would say that these guys are definitely a little bit slower paced. They're not power folk metal, they're not power metal in any way, they're more just epic folk, kind of a Celtic feel, as I say, a bit of a mystical kind of sound to their music. Really, really nice. If you wanted to just chill out a bit with something not as intense, I would reach for these guys. But really good sounding. The guitars as well. The guitar takes the lead in a lot of the melodies as well, which is what I really liked about it. But they use other folk instruments in it as well, which obviously gives it that flavour. But yeah, so this one, obviously it's in a jewel case and booklet there, lovely artwork as well. And this one, did I say jewel case? I said digipack. This is the jewel case, for those who are unfamiliar with jewel cases. Yeah, and again, so great stuff. Again, I think these guys are self-released. I don't actually see a indication of a record label, company name anywhere. But yeah, if you're interested in something a little bit different, again, another one to check out, Alkonost. So that was the last of the stragglers. The rest are kind of ones I've just sort of picked up fairly cheaply off Amazon, basically. One's eBay, the last one I'll be showing you is eBay, the rest I got from Amazon. And I'd been interested for a while in checking out this artist, and I just never got around to pulling the trigger. I found, again, she is a female artist. Some of her stuff sounded rather interesting. And this one caught my eye. It's actually a Christmas album, even though Christmas has passed, but I thought, oh, I'll just pick it up because it'll be a seasonal thing, it'll be a nice treat, and along with Majestica's epic awesomeness, I'll have this for a bit more of a gentle, atmospheric Christmas kind of thing. So it's Leah, and she's a Canadian artist, and she has quite a few albums out. I mean, the artwork on this, it drew me in again as well. The artwork, fantastic stuff, and it's called Ancient Winter. As I say, just a new release, November last year. Is that right? No, I beg your pardon, 2019. Yeah, November 2019, I beg your pardon. So this one's about a year old, and it's on Ex Cathedra Records, which I think may be a Canadian label. And at Ancient Winter, and the only one I am aware of is there's a cover of the Christmas song Gaudete, or whatever the heck it is pronounced. There is another couple that are not her own work, but they're very old traditional musical pieces. Christmas pieces where she does her own version of them, but really good. And I think the other kind of like 5 or 6 are her own works. But yeah, she is described as a Canadian symphonic metal artist with Celtic and world influences, which I think fits her really well. What I would say about this is there's not very metal as such. There's more symphonic in it than there is metal. It's an easy listen. It's a calming effect, atmosphere to the story, very atmospheric and Christmassy sounding, which is good, which is what you want. And it has, a mix of interesting instruments in it as well, but you've got solid drums and bass and things like that. There's not much in the way of like distortion guitar, I would say. That doesn't feature in here. Which is probably why I wouldn't class it as out and out metal. That is to say, I don't have any of her other albums yet. I may pick something up that's not like a Christmas themed thing and see what that's like. And I guess there might be more of a metal sound there. But again, she's got a lovely voice. Again, great artwork on the disc as well. So I just thought, yeah, I'm going to give this a try. But I won't be listening. I have listened to it a couple of times. I don't really like listening to Christmas stuff when it's not Christmas. But because it had just kind of passed, it was fine. But it's something to look forward to coming December, and I shall pull it out. So that was Leah. And another one I had discovered fairly recently, and I'd been humming and hawing about whether to buy this for a few months, and I pulled the trigger because I had dropped a couple of pounds on Amazon at the time. And this is a 2019 release as well. Another kind of newish band to me. I believe they're from Finland, and these guys are called Strider. And the album I think it's their first and only release so far, their debut, Dominion of Steel. And again, these guys are just straight up modern traditional metal, kind of the new wave of traditional heavy metal, I guess, if you want to use the term. That is what they are. A very good album. It's released on Lion Music. Sorry, there you go. I kind of like to make sure that I've still got it on the screen. I can't see when I put it right in front of myself. Lion Music 2019 from Finland, and traditional metal with, and I've just got a reference review thing up here, and they've kind of got influences in here, and I agree with what this person says. Inspired by Manowar, there's hints of Manowar. They're not full-on Manowar worship, but there is a hint or two, like as I say, an inspiration. Also, Judas Priest and Saxon, Paragon and Ram also is what the person in this review puts as well. But yeah, so kind of bands of that vein, I guess. And I would agree with the Manowar influence because for me, there's a few songs in here that I think are really good, and a handful of songs that I think have just got an element of cheese about them. Just the lyrics and the way the song is written, kind of thing. The presentation of the song. I mean, there's one called We Are Strider. Let Your Blade Shine. Throne of Metal, just some of the track titles kind of gives you an idea of what you might, if that fist punching kind of warrior type, sword wielding type of action figure person, as is what's on the cover, funnily enough. So for me, this was kind of like a 60% good, 40% cheese kind of thing for me, maybe. Overall, it was good, but there was one or two that I wasn't so keen on. But yeah, just still good to find. The jewel case feels a bit bendy. It's like that lighter metal, lighter, bendier plastic. So there we have it, from Finland. And the last one I grabbed off Amazon, just another one that was a bit cheaper in price. I don't have this one, and decided to just grab it to add to my Blind Guardian collection. This is At the Edge of Time. I would love to get this on vinyl. However, I think the only way for that to happen would be a reissue. But no, don't have this on CD, so another one just to add to the Blind Guardian collection. This is a 2010 release from Nuclear Blast. I haven't yet got around to listening to this, because this one just came in, as I say, at the end of last week. But really happy to have it. Interesting stuff. I mean, Blind Guardian are just quality. I love them. I really am delighted to have discovered this band. Fantastic. And the artwork's just amazing. So yeah, that is At the Edge of Time from Blind Guardian. The last one is a find off eBay. And I was watching it for a while, and the seller offered to me for a couple of pounds cheaper, which I accepted. Because it's a band I had kind of discovered via YouTube a while back. And interestingly, when I first discovered them, Renee at Holspa Metal, he mentioned them in one of his videos around that very time. And I can remember putting in the comments, funny you should show Dark Moor, because I've just discovered them. So they're a Spanish band. Dark Moor is their name. I'm going to just get their info page up. So Spanish symphonic power metal, which they are, from Madrid in Spain, and apparently they were formed in 1993. This is their third release, and it's called The Gates of Oblivion. Another great piece of artwork. And they're on Arise Records, which I think is a Spanish record label, because there's an address, Bilbao, Spain. CD's in great condition. There's a couple of marks on the underside, but nothing that affects the play, thankfully, of a CD, so it's in excellent condition overall. And they have a female vocalist on this particular album. According to the history of the band, there is a picture of the whole band in here. 6 of them altogether at this point. Apparently, this was the third album, which was the final album the female vocalist sang, and she and 2 other members left and formed their own band called Dreammaker. However, Dark Moor are still going, but I think it's a male vocalist they have now. And I don't know what Dreammaker sound like. I haven't gone down that road yet, but I may check them out at some point. But yeah, again, another good... She's not so symphonic sounding, this female. I think she's just more metal sounding, to be honest, which is kind of nice as well. A bit different. But yeah, excellent band, very talented, good quality music. Some fast stuff. There's some elements of I don't know. There's a hint of the folkiness about some of their songs as well. And this, although it isn't mentioned in their descriptions here, but definitely a bit more power metal sounding as well. So, and they're not easy to find in the UK. Certainly their earlier albums are not so easy to find in the UK. This one came out in 2002. This one, I think the first one was released in something like 97, 98. But yeah, so you've got 12 tracks on here, really good stuff. A couple of the tracks are just kind of like sort of 1.5 minute instrumental pieces, you know, as if they're an intro to the next upcoming track. But yeah, so that is Dark Moor. Very pleased to find this one. And that is my CD update. Hopefully tomorrow or early in the week I should have my vinyl update, which you will see. Grabbed a couple of bargains off Amazon there as well, and one or two others from around the internet. And thanks for watching, and please check out the, leave your comments below if you have any, and I'll catch you all in another video. Bye just now.